Hello again. I'm Alec Martinez with Home and Rehab, and we're going to continue our discussion today on stroke recovery. What we're going to talk about today is the different stages of what can happen as we recover from stroke. Last week we talked about one of the most common symptoms, spasticity, which is when as you try to move, if you move too quickly, your muscles try and stop you. There are different stages that can lead up to spasticity, and of course there are different ones after. So just because it's a common symptom doesn't mean there's not something else surrounding it. We're going to base today's discussion on something called the Brunstrom model of recovery, which is something we've noticed in rehab of certain stages that people tend to go through. Now it's important to note that not everybody goes through these stages in the same way. Some people skip entirely and end at a certain one. Some people wake up at a certain level and just keep progressing, and some people find they're stuck at a very specific one. Either way, the attempt at intervention is going to be to try and progress you to the next stage. The initial stage of stroke recovery may be what we call flaccidity. This is the point where there is no movement at all, whether it's volitional or non. The muscle is more or less completely non-active, whether we try and do those quick movements that would induce spasticity or when you try to move the muscle. Our goal in stages like this is to try to use different modalities that may activate the muscle or different movements that apply quick stretch to try to apply that spinal reflex to instigate any sort of movement. What we often see is once that movement starts, it does begin to operate in synergy patterns, which are patterns of movement that the muscles always seem to flex or extend together in certain ways, whether it's at the arm or at the lower extremity. What we may also notice in this stage is an increase in tone and spasticity, which is what we discussed last week, where once we're in that pattern, if we try to move you too quickly, you may lock or go very slowly through resistance. Our goal at that point is to try and help you turn on those motions on your own. At this point, there's no bad or good. Our goal is just to try and teach people that there's a way to turn a movement on and off. Our goal through at this point is going to be try to A, passively move you through these motions so that your body can learn what they feel like, as well as applying a little bit of that gentle stretch to preserve your range, but also to try and help your body do that itself. Once we can get everything to move en masse, then we're going to try and isolate different movements. What we mean by isolated movements is, for example, only moving the elbow with my shoulder and wrist staying in one spot, or just moving the wrist, moving a single part of the hand, or moving even a single finger at the time. When we can get that type of movement at every single joint, our goal is to combine them again. Because when I reach overhead, my goal is not to raise the arm, bend the elbow, grab, straighten, bring it down, and release. I want to be able to do that all together. Attempting to relearn this coordination is often a relatively normal part of stroke recovery. So if you find that while you can activate your arm in certain ways, it doesn't seem to work like it used to, know that this is normal, and one of the best things you can do at this point is practice. Finally, even when you can move your arm relatively normally, you may find that it lacks strength and endurance. And a relatively typical part of stroke recovery is noticing this aspect and trying to work on that strength by weightlifting and doing different activities that will increase the ability to repeat motions over time. Again, there are different stages to this that you may find you're stuck at for a long period of time, or you may find that you accelerate through very quickly. Our goal in physical therapy is to determine essentially where are you, and from there try to move you into the next area to make your life more and more normal. If you ever have any questions about what's going on with your particular symptoms, obviously feel free to contact a local physical therapist or your doctor to see what things are available to you at that time and what they think of your prognosis. Have a great day.